you carry your Quran and cross-check it, guys. You know. So he was now asking the Grand Mufti, even you, because this Grand Mufti said that he has read Bible very well. He has also read Quran very well. So he knows, very brilliant man also. Very, very brilliant. It's good to be brilliant though. It's good also to ask questions. It's good to get involved. Whatever you want to do, get involved into it. Don't stay halfway. Halfway. You don't know what is happening. You don't know what is happening. If you want to be a Muslim, be a Muslim. Carry Quran, read it. When you now say you're done, you will really be done. There's no need of doing something you don't understand. It's just like some people say they are Christians, but you have never read Bible. Anybody come from anywhere will deceive you with Bible. Any man, they call themselves man of God, Aquara Slate, can't interpret the Bible. They use it and deceive you, brainwash you. That was how they told some people, go and eat grasses. They started eating grasses. In the name of God. In the name of Christ. So anything you want to be involved, get involved really. So when the buyer say, oh, so me. I say, isn't it you is that? You know what I mean? He say you want to eat frog or toad. Eat it. When they ask you toad eater, you answer. Because you have eaten it very well. He say you're a Muslim, go and read Quran, read it very well. Read it very well. Guys, if you read it very well, you'll come out of it. Okay? If you read Quran very well, this is what I'm finding out in Kipazo. That is what I'm finding out these days. If you read Quran very well, you will run for your life. This was how this Grand Mufti ran. In fact, his own self, because he was so inquisitive, a sincere heart, very brilliant man, very intelligent man, very bold man, eloquent man, they were using him the other way around. He said that when Christ called him, how do you come? How do you know my name? He told him, I knew you when you were in your mother's womb, and I've been calling you since. But you were listening to other people. You were listening to other God. That was the answer Christ gave to this Grand Mufti. I've been calling you, but you were listening to other God. That was what the Grand Mufti said. But you see, Christ didn't find it so difficult to convert him. You know why? Because the guy have been studying. He studied Quran, he studied Bible, he said it with his own mouth, back to back. But the problem he was having that when he finishes, he will interpret it, he twists it to interpret it. You will listen to him, he will tell you that. He will twist the thing. Just like some people are reading Bible and twisting it for their members. That was why when they have problems, instead of praying a prayer, they will tell you, God of my pastor, come and answer me. Like, sure. God of Oyedepo, come and answer you. Who told you that your God is your God of Oyedepo? How do you know the God of Oyedepo is serving? Are you in their secret places in their houses? How can you say God of Onye, come and... Who told you that? Tomorrow night you say God of Stella. God of Stella. Do you know the God I serve really? The one I say with my mouth? That is why you have your own God for yourself. You have Chukwu Okike Abiama for yourself. You have a personal relationship with Chukwu Okike Abiama for yourself. With yourself. Christ didn't find it so difficult to convert this Indonesia Grand Mufti, because he just used the word he was reading from Quran and got him converted. It was so easy. He will ask him, but your Quran wrote about Isa, wrote about me, didn't he? He said yes. Your Quran said that Isa lived or lived a spirit life. I have to really I wrote it down somewhere. All the things he told this guy, this Grand Mufti, he couldn't answer anymore because Christ was right after all. So why he said, why couldn't you find me even through your own? No wonder a lot of Muslim people are saying that they got to know in Christ from Quran. Guys, have you heard that news? That they got to know in Christ through their Quran. Maybe that's why there are two types of Islam. Who knows? Who knows? Oh? It's only God that knows the difference between the Sunni and the Shiite for real. It's only them that know the intricacies of the differences there. And it's only them that knows why in some part, they are not. No. Saudi Arabia, they wear hijab now. But at least they believe they like development, a bit of Western civilization. They're adding it to them. But Iran don't like at all anyone like Fulani. Iran is the Fulani type we have in Nigeria. They don't want anything. Huh? Reconstructioning my food, according to Shetima. Reconstructioning my food. They don't want it. They don't want 24 hours electricity. They don't want good roads at all. The kind of Islam that entered Nigeria is very, very dangerous, worse than others. So it's really only them that knows the intricacies, differences, the real differences between the two. But at the end of the day, it's the same Quran they are using, is it not? Interpretation. The only thing what I found out is this, guys. hmm, If you read Quran very well with a sincere heart, you can find Christ somewhere there, and then you will now begin to move towards Christianity. If you read Quran very well, and you're really looking for real God to serve in a sincere heart, eh? You will read it, and you begin to move to Christianity. You begin to ask more questions. But it depends on your teacher too, because it's like Christianity. If your teacher is bad, who will betide you? They will tell you to eat grasses, you eat. They will tell you to kill, and there's this kind of prayer. They will say, die, 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 die. That your auntie in the village wants to kill you. You begin to now pray, die, 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 die. Everybody that don't want my destiny, die, 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 die. It's Christianity I'm talking about too. Die, 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 die. Is a wrong teacher. That's as a result of a wrong teacher. So the same thing in Islam. But most people that found Christ reading Quran, they did it on their own. But what the problem they were, or the challenges they were having is that when they come out, they meet their imam, they throw a lot of questions to imam. Then if it's a cheap imam or a imam that do not read very well, Quran very well, the imam becomes very how do you say it? Very anxious. How do you say anxious? Very nervous. How do you say nervous? Irritated when they throw questions. It's just like a Bible student also that reads Bible very well, and then you have a pastor that come to talk nonsense in the name of Bible studies. You throw questions on him like hell. The pastor becomes very nervous, becomes very agitated, becomes very, whenever he sees you, like, you go away, you're becoming creating problem. Meanwhile, it's you that is really making the things clearer to everybody and even to your own self. So if a Muslim, brilliant, sincere, read Quran very well, you need to really read it, like digest it for you to get to this level I'm talking about. Eh? Your eyes will be open up. You will really look for Christ. And but at the initial point, what I noticed them problems they have initially is they begin to throw questions to Imam. Then if it's a lousy Imam, the Imam will pick it against them. Imam will become annoyed. Imam will become very, very annoyed with that person. Before you know it, that they can even push you away from the mosque or away from the class. Same thing happens also in our own Christianity. Listen, the Grand Mufti now asks Christ, "What do you want from me?" Christ told him, "I want you to follow me. Follow me. Follow Christ." Christ told the Grand Mufti of Indonesia, "Follow me." That was it. It was like a bomb he dropped on him. You know? And you see, when he comes to rescue you, he also paved the way for you. When Christ decides to rescue you and come for you, he will pave the way for you. Because it's just like people that are in secret society, they want to come out, they don't know how to. But when really Christ comes to take you, he will pave a way for you, get you to people you know and churches you know, or an individual you know that will help you in prayers, because there you need a support, you need help. So when you're being converted or being removed from Islam, God will always come get to you to help you. He wouldn't just abandon you. It's only once in a while you hear their father kill them or their mother kill them. But when Christ comes to get you, he will really pave a way for you. And nobody, no hand, no mother, no. In fact, he will even make your mother to be at peace with you. That your father, he will even make him also to be at peace. If not, he will take you away from among them and they will not be able to get to you. Stop being afraid. If you're a Muslim here and you've been waiting, looking for a way to move, stop being afraid. Get to him. Another one striking thing the Grand Mufti said. He said that he now noticed the difference. That the God of Christianity speaks, but the God of the Allah do not speak. He said that Christ spoke to him, that he had it clearly, that it wasn't imagination, it wasn't thought, he wasn't in vision. He said he had an audible, speech, the way he said it. So when Christ come to pick you, he will not abandon you. He will not abandon you. It doesn't mean that you will not see some difficulties, but you will always come through for you. You will always excel. You will always come out of troubles or temptations or traps. Because I know coming out is not easy. But when Christ comes to get you, he will pave the way for you. And Christ speaks to us. He said he noticed the differences also. That when Christians pray, that Christ is always very close to them, listening. But when Muslims pray, that they pray in a vacuum, and they don't get answers, and they are not satisfied, and the Allah do not speak. According to this Grand Mufti, he said Allah do not speak, but Christ speak. You understand? So if you're finding a way to, because listen, what is bad is bad. What is bad is bad. We and Fulani and a normal common sense, we are of the same species. We have one head, they have one head. We have two hands, they have two hands. How can they be cutting the heads of their own species. We have things in common. We are of the same species. How come they don't understand it? How come they are hurting their fellow species? Yeah, you see, because on this earth, people do only talk about race, color, but I tell you, the real deal is still underground, which is your kind of species, your DNA. That's where the real differences are. The DNA, your kind of species. That's where the real differences. That is where you see real differences. And God knows about this. God do not see your color. God do not see your tribe. What God sees is your species. No wonder he said he created us in his own image. In his own image. In his own species. So you can't be hurting your fellow species, my dear. Hurting your fellow species is like hurting yourself. And if you're not being hurt, that's a question mark there. That's a problem somewhere there with you. What has happened to you, Fulani? What has happened to you, Arabs? Are you of the same species with others? Yes, we've gotten to the stage where everybody will ask questions and answer. Fulani, are you of the same species with others? If God do not see color, if God do not see tribe, but he sees species, he took time to say he created us in his own image, in his own species. Common sense. Fulani have one head, I have one head. Fulani have two hands, we have two hands. Fulani have two legs, we have two legs. We have something in common, Fulani. Then why do you kill your species? Why? Some people don't even believe in any God. But using your physical eyes, your eyes, you can see that this person look like me. This Hausa man look like me. This Yoruba man look like me. This Igbo man look like me. This Fulani look like me. Why are you hurting your species? Why? Last time we saw Fulani chop off 3 heads, a Biafran people, and was playing football with the head. And one will be wondering, are these people our species? What has become of Fulani? What happened to these people? Guys, this is what we must ask. It's not enough that somebody wrote something on a book so many years back. And today, people are using it without asking questions. And they are annihilating their fellow species. Something is wrong somewhere. Something is wrong somewhere. Fulani, you must have a meeting with yourselves. You must have a meeting with yourself. What happened to you? Where are your emotions? Where are your own feelings? Muslim, are you the only Muslim, Fulani? I found out that you people are all over the whole world. Fulani is in America, Fulani is in Ghana, Fulani is in Germany, Fulani is in France, Fulani is everywhere. What happened to you? What happened to you? How come you have become very, very, you're acting like an inhuman? How do I say it, self? As if you're not a human being. Or should I ask you, Fulani, are you a human being? Are you my species? How come you don't have feelings for your own fellow species? You kill your species. You play football with the head of your species. What happened to Fulani years ago? What has become of these people? Are they people? Are they humans? Is it red blood that runs in my own vein, runs in their own vein? Because you see, looking at Fulani from a distance, you say they are my species, no? Blame me if I say they are my species. But what happened to this species? What happened to them? What happened to these people you call the Fulani Mujahid Arabs? They can sit down and plot against their own species without feelings, without emotions. The emotions are dead. This is what they should answer. So, Biafran Christians, Nigerian Christians, the people we're up against are not normal. They are not normal at all. If you don't do anything, if you don't do anything, Okbari, you had T.Y. Danjuma said it. Defend yourselves. If you don't defend yourselves from the Fulanese, they will buy all of you one by one, said T.Y. Danjuma. That's the former general in Nigerian military that said it. The former general in Nigerian military said it. Nigerians, defend yourselves. Nigerian Christians, defend yourselves. Biafra Christians, defend yourselves. If you don't defend yourself, they will kill all of you one by one, said T.Y. Danjuma. Google it. Google it. You hear T.Y. Danjuma said it. The day has broken or broken. Now all you Nigerians will now begin to understand. All you Biafrans will now understand that if you don't defend yourselves, these people will finish you. If you begin to know this today, you know on time. They've told you with their mouth. It's on JTO. It is normal to them to buy you if you refuse to be converted. It is normal. They say he is a he. He said it. That it is written, that is normal thing that you all of you get converted to Islam. If not so, be ready to die. The Muslim boys, man, said it. Remember what I always tell you. It's only a tree. A tree. You tell tree, you know what? I'm coming tomorrow. I'm coming to cut you down. You go the next day, the tree will be there watching you, waiting for you to cut it down. But if he's a human being, my own species, my species will do something to avoid being cut down, to avoid being mowed down, to avoid being their heads being chopped off. When you go the next day, Nigerian Christians, rise up, defend yourselves. Biafra Christians, rise up, defend yourselves. If you don't defend yourselves, they will buy all of you one by one. Fulani that is looking for a country will take your country. Islamic regime of the world that are getting to convert everybody. It will be easier for them using Fulani. Rise up. Biafran, support your recognition, support your restoration. Support Brigi, where NKERE is the prime minister. Don't be deceived. Don't be distracted. Support financially. Any amount you have. We have a website. Go there, donate. Simple. No dogon trinchi. No long story. Forget this issue of election here, election there. All distraction. We have gotten election in Nigeria for well over 65 years. No, nothing changed. And you can't be doing the same thing and expecting another result. It's not possible. All your presidents are being channeled down from Britain. You see them going to Britain last time. P2B is a London boy already. By the name, you will know where he's coming from. He channeled in Labour Party that they used in killing our brothers and sisters in 1967. It's the same Labour Party. Now he has changed to Labour Party. Maybe he has entered the APC or which other one. That guy is very, very unstable. Stop being deceived. Stop being used. Stop being naive. The coexistence is not working. It's not working. It's not working at all. Everybody also saying it. Fulani are tired of Nigeria. This Fulani. Because what their target, their goal, they've not been able to be successful. Fulani said if they are not able to bury Quran in the high seas in Biafra land everywhere, they will destroy Nigeria by themselves. So Fulani by now, they are tired. They've not been able to achieve their goal. Hausa is also tired because Fulani have shown them pepper enough. Yoruba are also tired. Apart from the genetic intermixed breed of Yoruba and Fulani there that are talking nonsense. The real Yoruba there, they are tired of Nigeria. Middle Belt are tired of Nigeria. Biafra are tired of Nigeria. What are we waiting for? It's only to dissolve Nigeria. Melt Nigeria. Separate Nigeria. Frozen Nigeria. To save the little lives that are left. Take census. Take a census. Even take it now. Because by the after 2027 election, it will be reduced again. Already under, is it under 2 years or a year? Fulani have killed well over 50,000 Nigerian Christians. This one they are adding, they are not touching Biafra land though, because Biafra number is another thing entirely. When you are hearing 50,000 Nigerian Christians killed, it's not included Biafra. Biafra is different too. Nobody's even checking how many. The world are not even counting on how many that is going down in Biafra land. Everybody's focused now in northern Nigeria. Everybody's focused in northern and western Nigeria. Nobody is looking at the Biafra land at all. On how many deaths a baby. They are buying not. They are systematically buying Biafrans. Systematically bringing Biafrans down. The system they are using in Biafra land, is highly matured, highly. Give me a word, Seth. The Koni system they are using to buy Biafrans that. Example, Obinze Barracks. Another example, Tiger Base. That's where they are killing us. Another example, Biafra hospitals. That's where they are buying us. Another example, Dangote trailer. That's how they are killing Biafrans. They will just put one Hamojiri inside the tanker, Dangote tanker trailer, make him to drive it inside, hold on. Why? Collect 100 at the spot in Biafra land. And then the tanker will now also explode with fire because maybe it's carrying crude oil or gas. It will now burn all the cars on the traffic, maybe 20 cars, 30 cars, and then houses around. That's the way they kill in Biafra land. They are not even, they are not even, they are not even adding Biafra death into the number of the Nigerian Christians they are killing. You now go to Biafra hospital, they will tell you it's not your turn. Hold on for it to be your turn before you deliver your baby. You'll be online. You will die on childbearing. Childbearing have become a very dangerous thing. Pregnancy, labor is a very dangerous thing in Biafra land because they planted themselves in strategic places to be able to kill Biafrans silently. They are silently, systematically wasting Biafrans in Biafra land. Nigeria government is doing that. Fulani Nigeria government. So when the world are calling that 50,000 died under 1 year in Nigeria Christians minus Biafra Christians, our number is something else, very, very higher than the one you are hearing in Nigeria. Because the system they are using in Biafra land to kill Biafran Christians, another thing entirely. Another thing entirely. So wake up, Biafrans. Support your freedom. Fund your recognition. Fund your restoration. In Brigi government. Brigi government, where our first prime minister were before Finland imprisoned him or took him. And the person that have been working hands in hands with our first prime minister has been this second prime minister, NKERE. Don't be deceived. Don't be deceived. Don't be deceived. Wake up. Wake up, Biafrans. Wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. People that are looking for God could find God. Your own is confusion. Your own is easier. You don't know who to follow. Your own is very easy. Very, very, very easy. Very, very easy in front of you to make a decision. Stop being distracted. We have a constitution. We have a law. Use it. Use it for a yardstick. Use it to measure who is doing what, and who is doing what. Use it. That's the sense of having that charter. That's the sense of having those bylaws. When there's confusion, you go back there to cross-check. It's like your Bible. It's like your manual. A producer, when he produces anything, he drops a manual. You have questions, you go to the manual. That's the work of your charter. That's the work of your bylaws. When you have a question, you go to the bylaws. When you're confused, you go to the bylaws. When you are having distraction, go to the charter, find out, cross-check. Helps you to balance. Check all the breakaway groups. Who took time to use charter? If not so, what's the essence of the charter then? If the charter was established, was made, approved, and nobody is using it, or is not being used, what would have been the essence? Some people think we're in a Chanja market. Oh, no, Are market. No. Some people think we are in Balug. Balug market, they have rules. They open by 8. 8, everybody's outside. Before 8, everybody's outside. As soon as it's 8, the gate man will open the door. Everybody will now move into the. Everything have rules and regulations. Why not Brigi? Why not Biafra? Why not? It's not even Brigi. It's called that. I don't know what they call. The other one is a Mama Mugu. Another one is Arabu Fulani. Uh-huh. Eh? Why not you, Biafrans? Everything in this world have rules and regulations. Every organization, every government, every system have rules and regulations. How can you be becoming a new nation, an emerging nation, and you want to become lawless? You want to become lawless already. You can as well stay in Nigeria where you were. No, you can as well stay in Nigeria where you were. If you are coming out from Nigeria only to become a lawless, stay where you were then. Ah, no wonder Rabbi Fulani said she will not take all of you with plane from America and from Europe down to Nigeria. She said, no wonder. Because she's not bringing Biafra to you or for you. So, David, is here. David, you have the mic before we bring down the space. You're welcome, sir. David, can you hear me? Because you're on the mic. Okay, so guys, I think that's all. Okay.
Yes, yes. Can
Yes,
you
I
hear
can
me?
hear you, sir. You're welcome. You have the mic.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, our sister Stella. Thank you for what you do. More importantly, at this critical time of our restoration project, all hands must be on deck. We must do the needful. We must continue to educate our people. We must continue to keep them posted about what is actually happening in order to wake a lot of Biafrans who are still sleeping. Because believe you me, all that you have spoken about today, there are still people who don't get it. There are people who are still sleeping, thinking that somehow Nigeria is redeemable. It is very, very sad and it's very, very unfortunate. General Danjuma, like you rightly pointed out, advised Nigerians to defend themselves. He advised you to defend yourself. The reason why he said that is because he knows that the security agencies, which he was part of, were complicit in the murder, in the killing, in the jihad, in the kidnapping, in every atrocity that Nigerians are witnessing. More importantly, in Biafran territory, every atrocity, every insecurity that you see them lamenting on social media is caused by the Nigerian security agencies. General Danjuma was one of them. So he knows, he got intel. He knows the reason why they are involved because of the Islamic agenda. So that is why he said Nigerians should defend yourself. Middle Beltans should defend themselves. Biafrans should defend themselves. The minorities in the north should defend themselves. So it is left for you now to take that advice very seriously, or you continue to wallow in your ignorance. And what happened to those who wallow in ignorance? Most of them are in the grave today. Most of them their body are not complete. Some have lost their parents. Some parents have lost their children as a result of not heeding to the advice of General Danjuma. So, and why General Danjuma is advising Nigerians to defend themselves, those who should be in the best position to pass this message refuse to do that. which are the Christians in that evil contraption. More importantly, their daddy GOs, their pastors, their reverends. They refuse to tell their members to defend themselves. They refuse to say the fact or acknowledge the fact that the Fulanis have an agenda. Their agenda is to conquer. The agenda is to take over our land. Their agenda is to drive you from your ancestral land and occupy it. And there is nothing the Nigerian government can do because they are aiding them. Of course, it is not, it is not propaganda, or it is not to tarnish the image of the Nigerian government when you hear that Gumi told you that the security agencies are aware of the terrorism in the land. They know the terrorists not only by their names, but by their locations. So why are you now crying and asking the security agencies to come and defend you, when in the actual sense, it is the government that is sending them to come and kill you? So it is very, very open to the Nigerian public. The most annoying thing is that the Nigerian public understand now when Gumi made that assertion, when he revealed that secret or make that open confession, that the Nigerian government are aware where the terrorists are. And the terrorist, whenever he's visiting them, he's not going alone. He goes with the security agencies. He informed the government, and the government are aware. The Nigerian people refuse to revolt against their government. Even till tomorrow, when the terrorists come and invade your community and kill all the people there, you still see some individuals saying, oh, government should come to our aid. Government should come and defend us. They should send the military to come and defend. The same military that the Gumi told you that Nigerian government is aware where these terrorists are, and he knows them by name. And remember, these terrorists that are ragtagged, they have AK-47 whenever they enter Nigeria. Children that are 15, 18 years of age, 24 years of age, that don't even have any means of income, are carrying AK-47 that is close to 1 million naira. Where did they get that money from? On their first point of entry to the territory of Nigeria. That is to tell you that the Nigerian government are aware, Nigerian government are funding them, Nigerian government are supporting them, Nigerian government are protecting them. And you remember in 2015, El-Rufai told you that, oh, these people came into Nigeria because Buhari want to use them to win an election. And after they won the election, they now decided to resettle them. How are they going to resettle somebody who came from Futajelon, somebody who came from Guinea, Mauritania, and all the rest of them in another country? The only way they can resettle them is to evict the owners of the land. They have to evict you, that is the owner of the land, in order to settle all these foreigners in your land. And that is what the Nigerian government are actively doing. That is what the Sultan of Sokoto is doing. That is what Gumi is championing. Gumi is the spokesperson of the Sultan of Sokoto, because the Sultan of Sokoto is the religious leader, the second god after their Muhammad, in that evil contraption called Nigeria. So whatever he says goes. So he is the leader of these terrorist groups, and there is no way he can come out to front himself as the leader. He has to use a spokesperson who they know is versatile in terrorism, and that person is Ahmed Gumi. Mind you, Saudi Arabia banned Gumi from entering their country. Why? Because of his terrorist affiliations and linkages. So, Nigerians, Biafrans, and yourself, fund your restoration and fund your recognition, because we have a government that is representing Biafra. We have a government that is very much active in Washington, D.C., making sure that these terrorist activities of the Nigerian government is checkmated. The policymakers are aware of it. International community are aware of it. And we have to continue pressing the button until eventually Nigeria is totally destroyed. But it's very, very capital intensive, and that is why we are appealing to Biafrans anywhere that you are to contribute your own quota towards the funding of this restoration, of this liberation of our land. Fund, no matter how little it is going to go a long way. You can imagine a scenario whereby the over 58 million Biafrans that voted for the self-referendum, a scenario whereby 2 million, only 2 million, a fraction, not even up to the 5% of those who voted for self-referendum, they contribute tutu ejema or tutu eje or one eje every blessed Saturday. 1 million Biafran contribute to one eje on every blessed Saturday. It is going to go a long way in supporting the actions, the activities of Biafran Republic government in Washington, D.C. Because as it is now, it is the Biafrans in diaspora that are actively involved in this funding. Those of you in the homeland that are in ground zero, what are you actually doing? We understand most of you are afraid, thinking that, oh, Nigerian government may know or your information may be out when you support the government of Biafra. I want to remind you and tell you and promise you categorically that once you go to our website www.biafranrepublicgovernment.org and make your donation, Nigerian government will not be aware of who has donated. As a matter of fact, you don't even need to put your real names there. You can as well donate anonymously, okay? So that your children, your generation will be free from slavery, from kidnapping, from organ harvesting, from harassment and intimidation. This is what we are fighting for. No other thing. We don't hate nobody. These people want to take over our land. These people want to pursue us out of our own natural habitat that Chukwu Okike have given to us. And if we don't support our freedom, these people are going to succeed because they have the resources. The Nigerian government gave them AK-47 and pushed them out in all the states in that evil contraption to go into kidnapping. You see, when they kidnap, they demand ransom. And when that ransom is paid, they use it to buy more guns, more arms and ammunition. But in our own case, it is only those in diaspora that are contributing towards this freedom. And it's not really healthy where everybody, we have billionaires and millionaires in Biafran territory that can even, fund this restoration without even blinking an eye. It will not even look as if they have taken something out of their finance. But what is the reason for them not supporting? Because they believe that, oh, if they support, maybe their investment in Nigeria will be in jeopardy. I want to let you know their investment will only be protected under Biafran government. After all, what happened in 2023 is still very much fresh in our heart. Your properties were destroyed, even when you voted for the candidate of your choice. Nobody came to your rescue. Nobody paid you back or compensated you for destroying your properties. So you see, either you support Biafra or even if you support Nigeria, your property will be destroyed. But once you support Biafra is restored. The Biafran government will be able to put measures in place in order to hold Nigerian government into account if they in any way destroy or try to confiscate your properties. So you see that you are better off in Biafra. and Biafrans. Nigeria is approaching another electioneering campaign, and we want to let you understand that we, the Biafrans, can never allow election to happen in our land. We can say it. What about the measures that should be put in place in order to make sure that this election do not happen? One of the measures that BRGIE has undertaken is to reactivate and reinstall our radio, our satellite, our television, in order to make sure that Biafrans get information directly from the government of Biafra. So we need your support in that avenue, in that arena as well, so that we can be able to put transformers in our 40 states of Biafra land for information dissemination to the Biafran people. So all these things, coupled with the lobbies, the attorneys, the engagement that is happening in Washington, D.C., all of them need money. So we appeal to you, please come on board and support Biafran government. It is for your own good. It is for the betterment of your children, your generation, even yet unborn. Our leader, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, continues to be languishing in detention because of his stand for Biafra. Whatever they are telling you about Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, this and that, I want you to know that that is a betrayal on our leader, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. The same applies to our Prime Minister, Mai Simon Ekpa. These two leaders understand very well what is involved for our freedom to come. They understand the pivotal role they are playing in the restoration. And they know that they may somehow, either they find themselves in detention, this they are in diaspora, because that is where freedom fighters belong to. Now that they find themselves in such situations, do you expect to fold your hands and wait until they come out before we can get our freedom? The answer is no. Good 18, before they went into their various detentions, we have already had a government in exile, a government that has the template to Biafran restoration. And that is what our Prime Minister Ogechukwu Nkere, our lobbyists and our attorneys are following to the latter. So don't be deceived. Don't be confused by anybody. The only government that we have, that American government recognizes, that Washington, D.C. know, that the world understand is fighting for Biafra, is the Biafran Republic government in exile under Prime Minister Ogechukwu Nkere. Of course, Nigerian government have confessed to that. International media, mainstream media have also written about that. The only people who refuse to acknowledge that or appreciate the great work that this government is doing are the sabos that were contracted by the Nigerian terrorist state to try to hold us down. But no matter what they do, at the end of this process, they will understand that Biafra was destined to come, like our leader Mazin Nnamdi Kanu said. So my wonderful Biafran brothers and sisters, you have to join hands now and fund the 3 R's. The 2 R's, we have had the restoration. We now remain the recognition. The recognition is very much on course, but you have to fund it because we have lobbyists, we have attorney. Okay, these are the people who are our representatives in Washington, D.C. They arrange the meetings, they arrange the engagement for our prime minister to go and speak about Biafra. So they are, even the men on the ground, they have to get their logistic, they need feeding, they need clothing. All these things, you can't leave it for the Biafrans in diaspora alone. And even the majority of Biafrans that should contribute in this freedom are eating hamburger and cheeseburger in America, in other areas, thinking that those areas or those countries are their own country. There is no place like home. There will never be any place like Biafra. So while you are eating hamburger, cheeseburger, and all the big fat food in America, remember that your land is still under occupation. Remember that we are a threatened species in our land, and it's not going to continue like that, because imagine you, after fighting for Biafra, your children also come and start suffering because of your inability to give them their freedom. It will be very, very sad, and you can never be happy in your grave if such things happen. That is why we are calling on you, Biafrans, in the homeland, more importantly, to come and support what is being done for our freedom. This is very, very important. It is a collective responsibility. It is a collective effort of everybody, and we must do it. We must make it happen. It is our generation that is going to make it happen. Remember our leader, what he told us, that Chukwu Okike Abiama told him that Biafra must come in our own time. Do you want Biafra to come? Are you sure you want Biafra to come? Are you sure you want your children to be free out of the Fulani terrorism? Are you sure you don't want Islamization to happen in Biafran territory? If you are sure, then you must do something about it. You must appreciate the fact that God gave you the opportunity to be alive, that this is happening, because you have seen the positive result that is coming from Washington, D.C. It only remains a small push, and we are there by God's special grace. Ignore those who are trying to distract what we are doing. Ignore those who are forming a stumbling block on the wheel of our progress. Those who are envious of the achievement of Ogechukwu Nkere. Those who were contracted by the Nigerian government to destabilize or disorganize what government of Biafra in exile is doing. Ignore them. At the end of this process, they are going to regret their actions and inactions against BRGIE, because the gods and goddesses of Biafra land will never be kind to anybody whosoever that try to compound the problem of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that try to compound the issues that our Prime Minister has in Finland. If you think that you are doing it for the money, remember, you will get the money. But then the punishment that comes will be very much unbearable and disastrous for you. The best thing for you to do is now jettison your evil actions and ideas against BRGIE. Forget about that. You have your degrees, your professorship degrees, and all the rest of it. It does not mean that because you have the degree that you should be the leader. No. Chukwu Okike Abiama have chosen the leaders of this movement, and there is nothing you can do about it. The only thing you have to do is to support to make it come to pass.
We can't hear you anymore. David, we can't hear you anymore. Can you hear me? Guys, can you hear him? Oh, because me, I can't hear him anymore. Even his mic is not on. Guys, can you hear me? Anyway, I wanted to say good night to So the conclusion is Nigerian Christians, defend yourselves. Biafra Christians, defend yourselves. And the thing is easier now. Biafra has been redeclared. We have the government. Remember those days? Thank you, an acronym. Remember those days when Buhari mocked us that Biafrans, Igbos are not serious. But if they are serious, Buhari said we should organize ourselves at least and try and create a state within a state. Uh-huh. We've been able to. Uh, yeah, we stopped hearing you, David Nana. Your voice just left like that, and so and you're no more on mic from my side. Can you hear me, David? Let me see if I can pick you up again. Uh-huh. Can you hear me now? CEO, why are you tumbling down? Now pick up mic and hear me. Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay.
I didn't know my laptop. I was using laptop then, so it just went off the battery. I was not charging it anyway. So sorry about that. I'm using my phone now. So Biafrans, it is our responsibility to make this freedom come. Our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that it is the hard cause that will bring freedom for the Biafran nation. Are you among the hard cause? Are you among the hardcores? And who are the hardcores? The 100 men that we are choosing for Biafran Restoration Project. Check the percentage of 100 in over 80 million Biafrans. You see that the fraction is very, very small. But what it means is that it's those who are committed, who are ready to give their lives, those who are ready to sacrifice their life, those who are ready to do everything humanly possible for freedom to come. For those of you who are always coming on these spaces and sharing the message of BRGIE and committed and supporting the Biafran government and supporting our freedom, you have demonstrated one fact, that you are among the 100 men. There is no two ways about that you are a hardcore, because you see the feelings, you see the plight, you see the suffering of Biafrans in the homeland. And you make it a point of duty to support every action that government is doing in order to make sure that our people in the homeland is free. So you are a hardcore. You are among the 100 men that our leader have already chosen. The men are in Biafran Republic government in exile. Don't be deceived anymore by anybody telling you about the second 100 men. Because if Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, our leader, was kidnapped as a result of fighting for your freedom, and he was brought to Nigeria in order to stop Biafran Restoration Project, then how do you think that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be allowed to lead the movement from in that zoo that he was brought back to in order to stop him from fighting for Biafra? Anybody that associates with the purported 100 men list, sorry is your name. I am telling you, our leader is not aware of what is being done in order to discourage and destroy what BRGIE has done or what BRGIE is doing. These people refuse to acknowledge the good works of BRGIE. They feign ignorance of the great work that Prime Minister NKERE is doing, lobbyist Elias Attorney Dabiri is doing in Washington, D.C. They will only tell you about what Nigeria is doing because Nigerian government knows the game they are playing. They are using a lot of all these people in order to see how they can woo us into believing on one Nigeria. But they don't know that you can't beat the rich. We are already ahead of them because we are students of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He has taught us to make use of our number 6. And nobody is going to make use of that number 6 for us. We know what our leader wants. We know what our prime minister wants. And that is what we are doing because we have a government, we have a template, we have a prime minister, and
We
we
have
are
a charter.
following it. We
We have
have
a
a
law.
charter. We have a bylaw. So do you expect somebody else to tell you what to do? You expect Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is in detention, who expects you and I, or Prime Minister Simon Ekpa Njoku, our first prime minister, who is also in detention, who expects you to do everything humanly possible for his release, and you are only there to jeopardize his position of release, to compound his problems for him? Let me tell you, for all of you that are involved in this sabotage against our leaders. Unu ga-eji ana wee zere mmiri. Unu ga-eji ana wee zere mmiri. What we are not fighting with ordinary eye. The spirit of those who died between 1967 to 70 are in each and every one of us. Believe you me, because we see the suffering that our people go through on a daily basis. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for 5 good years, is in detention, not because he stole, not because he took anybody's wife, not because he's embezzled, not because he committed any crime, but for the singular reason that he wants you and I to be free. He wants you and I to be able to govern ourselves. He wants you and I to have a good life. And because of that, the enemy said no. Instead of him